For decades, the DiMera family has been a cornerstone of intrigue and power in Days of Our Lives. Under the formidable leadership of Stefano DiMera, the family became synonymous with cunning strategies, deep-rooted loyalty, and unrelenting ambition. However, in recent years, the DiMera name has seemed to lose some of its edge. Spoilers from Days of Our Lives suggest that a significant shakeup is on the horizon, targeting 4 key members of the DiMera clan who desperately need to reclaim their family's formidable legacy. Let's dive into these much-needed transformations and explore how they can restore the DiMera family to its former glory. 1/EJ DiMera has long been one of the most compelling figures in Salem, a man of wealth, power, and undeniable charm. But while his father, the infamous Stefano DiMera, built his empire through masterful strategy and manipulation, EJ has often struggled to uphold that same level of cunning. Instead, his recent actions have painted him as reckless, impulsive, and driven more by personal vendettas than calculated ambition. For years, EJ has walked a fine line between being a respected businessman and a ruthless schemer. However, his latest downward spiral has seen him make one mistake after another, tarnishing his reputation and putting his position within the DiMera family at risk. His growing obsession with revenge against Jada Hunter has consumed him, leading him into dangerous and ill-conceived plots that threaten to unravel everything he has worked for. Rather than playing the long game, EJ has become fixated on short-term victories, failing to recognize the broader consequences of his actions. The most damning of his recent blunders was his involvement with Arnold Feniger, a reckless gamble that ended in complete disaster. What should have been a carefully orchestrated move turned into a catastrophe, leaving EJ vulnerable and exposed. This is not the behavior of a man who aspires to be the next great DiMera patriarch. It is the recklessness of someone who is losing control. Instead of solidifying his influence, EJ has been steadily undermining it, allowing his personal grudges to dictate his decisions rather than the strategic brilliance that once made him a formidable force in Salem. His rash behavior has not gone unnoticed. Those closest to him have started questioning his judgment, and even those who once feared him are beginning to see his weaknesses. The DiMera name once commanded unwavering respect and fear, but EJ's missteps have chipped away at that legacy. His inability to think ahead has made him vulnerable to enemies who would love nothing more than to see him fall. The power struggles within the DiMera family have always been ruthless, and if EJ does not regain control of his own destiny, he risks being cast aside by those who see him as a liability rather than an asset. But fate has a way of forcing change, and for EJ, that change may come in the most brutal way possible. A shocking turn of events is about to unfold, one that could alter the course of his life forever. EJ will soon find himself at the center of a harrowing ordeal, a shooting that will leave him fighting for survival. This moment of crisis could be the very thing that forces him to reassess his approach to power, pushing him to either evolve or be left behind. There is no doubt that this shooting will send shockwaves through Salem. For EJ, it represents more than just a physical threat, it is a wake-up call, a moment of reckoning that could determine his future. Will he continue down this path of reckless decision-making, or will he finally rise to the challenge and prove himself as the heir to Stefano's legacy? Surviving this attack could be the turning point EJ desperately needs. If he takes this as an opportunity to reflect on his past failures, he may finally recognize the need for a more calculated and strategic approach. This could be his chance to reclaim his place at the head of the DiMera dynasty, not as a hot-headed, impulsive man consumed by petty rivalries, but as a master manipulator who commands power with intelligence and foresight. The road ahead will not be easy. The enemies he has made will not simply disappear, and the damage he has done to his reputation will take time to repair. But if EJ can rise from the ashes of this crisis with a renewed sense of purpose and a sharper mind, he may yet prove himself worthy of the DiMera name. Stefano built his empire on patience, strategy, and unwavering determination. If EJ truly wants to honor that legacy, he must learn from his mistakes and emerge stronger than ever. This shooting will test him in ways he has never been tested before. It will strip away the bravado and force him to confront the harsh realities of his own failures. But it also presents an opportunity, one that could redefine him and reshape his future. If EJ can rise above the chaos, if he can prove that he is more than just a reckless son struggling to fill his father's shoes, then perhaps, for the first time in a long time, he can finally make Stefano proud. Johnny DiMera. Embracing the family legacy for years, Johnny DiMera has struggled to carve out his own identity, determined to break away from the weighty expectations of his powerful family name. Unlike many of his relatives, who have seamlessly embraced the cutthroat world of DiMera Enterprises, Johnny set his sights on something entirely different: filmmaking. With grand ambitions of making a name for himself in the world of cinema, he poured his heart into directing, hoping to bring a unique artistic vision to life. However, despite his passion, Johnny's dreams have not materialized in the way he had hoped. His directorial venture with Body and Soul and other creative projects failed to reach the level of success he once envisioned. As reality sets in, he finds himself at a crossroads, wondering whether the artistic path he chose is truly the right one. The struggle to find his place and gain recognition outside of the family empire has taken a toll, leaving him feeling unfulfilled and adrift. Now, all signs suggest that Johnny may be on the verge of making a dramatic shift. Recent behind-the-scenes images hint at a striking transformation: Johnny donning a suit, a stark contrast to his usual laid-back style. This symbolic gesture suggests that he might finally be ready to step into the corporate world and take on a role within DiMera Enterprises. If he does, it would mark a significant turning point, not only for himself but for the entire DiMera dynasty. His decision to embrace his birthright could have far-reaching implications. DiMera Enterprises has long been a powerhouse in Salem, but the family's infighting and power struggles have often threatened its stability. Johnny, with his fresh perspective and youthful energy, could be the key to ushering in a new era for the company. While he lacks the business experience of his father and uncles, his creative mind and ability to think outside the box might bring much-needed innovation to the company's operations. More importantly, stepping into the corporate world could help heal some of the deep fractures within the DiMera family. The family is notorious for its constant battles over power, loyalty, and control. Johnny, who has largely remained on the outskirts of these conflicts, could serve as a bridge between warring factions. His decision to take a more active role could unify relatives who have long been at odds, strengthening the family's position in both business and personal matters. There's also the question of whether Johnny will be able to navigate the treacherous waters of DiMera Enterprises without losing himself in the process. Many before him have been lured into the darker side of the business, compromising their morals in pursuit of power and control. Johnny has always prided himself on being different, but will he be able to maintain that distinction while working within an empire built on manipulation and ambition? The DiMera name carries prestige, but it also comes with heavy expectations and ruthless rivalries. If Johnny is to succeed, he will need to find a balance between embracing his heritage and staying true to his core values. Beyond the corporate world, Johnny's decision could have lasting effects on his personal life. His relationship with Chanel has been a focal point in recent months, and his shift in priorities could change the dynamic between them. Will she support his decision, or will she fear that stepping into the DiMera world will change him? His father, EJ, will undoubtedly have strong opinions, as will his other family members, each of whom has their own vision of what Johnny's future should look like. The pressure from all sides will be immense, and Johnny will have to prove not only to his family but also to himself that he is capable of handling this new responsibility. Ultimately, Johnny's potential transformation could be one of the most compelling shifts in Salem's power structure. If he fully commits to DiMera Enterprises, he could emerge as a force to be reckoned with, someone who honors the family's legacy while forging a path of his own. But if he falters, he risks being swallowed by the very machine he has spent years avoiding. The coming months will be crucial for Johnny as he decides whether to embrace his destiny or continue searching for something else. Regardless of his choice, one thing is clear: his journey is about to take a dramatic turn, and Salem will be watching every step of the way. Chad DiMera, returning to his roots for years, Chad DiMera has been a name synonymous with both honor and legacy. Unlike some of his more ruthless relatives, Chad has often been the voice of reason in the tumultuous world of the DiMera family. However, as time has passed, he has gradually distanced himself from the high-stakes intrigue that once defined his place within the family. Instead of standing at the helm of the empire built by his father and grandfather, he has retreated into a quieter existence, finding solace in the company of his late wife's family at the Horton house. While this shift has highlighted his compassionate and devoted nature, it has also left fans wondering, has Chad DiMera strayed too far from the dynasty that shaped him? In many ways, Chad's decision to step back from the DiMera empire was understandable. The family's legacy is fraught with betrayals, power struggles, and questionable alliances, all of which stand in stark contrast to the values he has worked so hard to uphold. For a time, embracing a simpler life allowed him to grieve his losses and focus on raising his children in a more stable environment. He found a confidant in Julie, whose wisdom and warmth provided him with a sense of home that was often missing in the high-stakes world of the DiMeras. Yet, while his presence at the Horton house has brought comfort to those around him, it has also highlighted the absence of a once powerful figure in the DiMera ranks. Without him, the balance of power within the family has shifted, and longtime viewers can't help but feel that his departure has left a noticeable void. Despite his best efforts to remain removed from the drama, the DiMera legacy is not something one can easily escape. Chad's bloodline ties him to one of the most powerful families in Salem, and whether he likes it or not, his name carries weight. He is not merely a bystander in this ongoing saga, he is an integral piece of it. His moral compass, combined with his ability to strategize and lead, makes him a formidable force, and if he were to reclaim his position within the family, it could shift the entire power dynamic in unexpected ways. A return to the DiMera fold would not only reinvigorate his character but could also provide closure for unresolved tensions and lingering conflicts. There are still questions surrounding the family business, alliances that remain unsteady, and adversaries who continue to pose a threat. Chad's re-emergence as a force to be reckoned with could bring new layers of intrigue and drama, re-establishing him as both a protector and a contender. His presence could serve as a stabilizing force, keeping some of the more reckless family members in check while ensuring that the DiMera name continues to command the respect and fear that it always has. Additionally, stepping back into the DiMera world would allow Chad to forge new alliances and perhaps even mend old wounds. His relationships with certain family members have been strained over the years, but a renewed commitment to his roots could offer opportunities for reconciliation. At the same time, his return could also place him in direct conflict with those who have benefited from his absence, creating a fresh wave of power struggles that would add new excitement to the DiMera narrative. Chad DiMera is at a crossroads. He has experienced loss, heartbreak, and a longing for peace that has kept him on the outskirts of his family's affairs. But as history has shown, DiMeras are never truly able to escape their fate. Whether by choice or by circumstance, Chad is bound to be pulled back into the fray, and when that happens, he must decide whether he will reclaim his legacy or allow others to dictate the future of the empire that rightfully belongs to him. One thing is certain, his return would send ripples through Salem, and the DiMera family, for better or worse, would never be the same again. For Kristen DiMera. Breaking free from obsession for years, Kristen DiMera has been a name that evokes both fascination and fear. A woman of immense intelligence, ambition, and cunning, she has proven time and again that she is a force to be reckoned with. However, despite her many strengths, her character has been overshadowed by one glaring flaw: her relentless obsession with Brady Black. This fixation has not only driven her to extreme measures but has also prevented her from realizing her full potential within the DiMera family empire. Instead of embracing her birthright as one of the most powerful figures in Salem, she has allowed her emotions to dictate her actions, leading to a series of missteps that have cost her dearly. Time and again, Kristen's inability to let go of her past with Brady has led to disastrous consequences. She has manipulated, deceived, and even committed crimes, all in the name of holding on to a love that has long since slipped through her fingers. While her passion and determination are undeniable, they have often been misguided, pushing her further away from the respect and power she so desperately craves. Many have questioned whether she is capable of breaking free from this toxic cycle, or if she is doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. At one point, Kristen managed to secure the coveted position of CEO at DiMera Enterprises, a role that should have cemented her place as a formidable leader. However, rather than using this opportunity to strengthen her family's hold on Salem, she remained entangled in her personal vendettas, allowing her emotions to cloud her judgment. Instead of forging powerful alliances and making strategic moves, she spent her time scheming for Brady's attention, much to the frustration of those who once believed in her leadership abilities. Now, it appears that Kristen's reign at DiMera Enterprises may be coming to an end. Spoilers suggest that she could soon be dethroned, losing the one position that granted her the influence she so desperately sought. While this may seem like a devastating blow, it could also serve as the wake-up call she needs. Losing her grip on the family business could force her to reevaluate her priorities and finally recognize that her obsession has done more harm than good. It could be the very thing that propels her toward true greatness. For Kristen, redemption is still within reach, but only if she is willing to make a fundamental change. If she can finally sever the chains of her obsession with Brady and refocus her energies on the business that should have always been her priority, she has the potential to become a formidable leader. With her intelligence, strategic mind, and ability to navigate even the most treacherous situations, she could transform herself into the powerful force the DiMeras need. A shift in focus could mark the beginning of a new era for the DiMera family. Kristen, free from the distractions that have hindered her, could rise to reclaim the legacy that is rightfully hers. Instead of being defined by her past mistakes, she could become a symbol of strength, resilience, and ambition. By embracing her true calling, she could ensure that the DiMeras remain a dominant force in Salem for generations to come. The road ahead will not be easy. Kristen must prove not only to her family but also to herself that she is capable of change. She must demonstrate that she can rise above her personal desires and prioritize what truly matters. If she can do this, then she may finally achieve the power, respect, and legacy she has always longed for. Only time will tell if she is ready to take that step, but one thing is certain: Salem has not seen the last of Kristen DiMera. The future of the DiMera family has always been at its best when its members are united by a common goal. Whether it's securing power, exacting revenge, or protecting their legacy. The current state of disarray within the family calls for a collective awakening. EJ, Johnny, Chad, and Kristen each have the potential to drive the family forward, but they must first confront their personal shortcomings and realign with the values that once made the DiMeras a formidable force. As Days of Our Lives continues to unfold, fans can look forward to these transformative arcs, which promise to bring drama, intrigue, and a renewed sense of purpose to the DiMera family. Whether through strategic alliances, personal growth, or dramatic confrontations, the DiMeras are poised for a resurgence that will undoubtedly captivate audiences and honor the legacy of Stefano DiMera. Stay tuned for more updates and spoilers as the DiMeras navigate these challenging times and work towards reclaiming their rightful place at the top.